Meanwhile, in stately Wayne Manor.
Happy Saturday. I hope your weekend is off to a great start. Another Build the 1966 Batmobile episode is coming at you today on Brickscale Studio. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm super excited to be back on the Batmobile train. We've been sort of, we had our first episode back last week, and it's nice to get back into the rhythm of doing it again after waiting for those wire parts for months. But today is an exciting episode because we are starting work on the mobile crime computer. We're putting in a couple more wires, but we are also testing the lights. So we'll be hooking up the battery box and the remote and everything and testing out the lights. So super exciting there. So let's get into the build.
And in the Batcave, deep below stately Wayne Manor.
Okay, so here we are with issue 59. Magazine. Looks like we get a couple more cables and the mobile crime computer, so that's cool. And it looks like we will be testing the electrics, so that is very awesome. All right. Here is the parts pack for issue 59. All right, so let's see here. Looks like we have the mobile crime computer body and the mobile crime computer sign. And then we have rear lights and instrument lights. And we have a couple stickers here, which I'm sure they will explain. So it looks like the first thing we're going to be doing is attaching the mobile crime sign, the mobile crime computer sign. It's going to be going right there with 2 AP screws. All right, so that is what that is looking like. Put that aside. All right, and so we're going to bring back the car. All right, this behemoth. So we want this cable here. So this is the rear lights, it says. So it looks like there's 2 red lights, so probably brake lights, I would guess, here. So this is I. So it is going to go right up here. Okay. And then the next one is K, and this is the instrument light. All right, this one's pretty short, so I'm actually just going to undo it. There we go. My goodness. All right, and this one I believe is K. Yes, K. So where... I mean, there's got to be just one more... Yeah, it's just one more empty slot here. So I think this is the last of our electrics. Okay, there is K. Ah, I see. So now this is where these little stickers come in. Let me get these out. They're going to help us just sort of wrangle these a little bit. So I guess now I have no choice. I need to sort of undo all of these. So let's do that, and then I will be right back. All right, I think I got these all unwound here. One thing very interesting, some of them were just sort of wrapped around each other, and some of them were like, there were intricate knots, and yeah, it was all over the place. Kind of crazy. Okay, I really hate when they do this. So in this little diagram, they have referred to the cables by the part number, 59B, 59D, rather than the letters that are on here, like A, B, C, D. So yeah, it's going to make this a little difficult trying to figure out which ones we need to deal with. I really wish they would have done this better. So let me sort of get these organized once I figure out where they go, and I'll be right back. All right, so I think I have these sort of oriented about where they need to go. So the first little bundle are these 3 wires here. And we are going to secure them up here by the speaker. Just like so. Okay. And then the next one is we're taking this one. So along with the battery box and the switch wires, so we're going to attach those right here. The struggle is getting the sticker off the backing paper, which, all right, so these I'm just going to stick right here. So this, for these wires, it doesn't instruct us to do anything with them. Yeah, so it wants us to take this one and put it over here. So there we have all of those. All right, so now it wants, we want to put the batteries in, so we need 3 AAA batteries. So allegedly we have the power on, so okay, so the horn works. Let's see, number 6, engine sound. That's cool. And the afterburner lights up, which is this light here. That's the horn, okay. And then we have turn signals here and here. I'm going to turn out the lights, so it might be easier to see. Okay, so those are the turn signals. And then these are the other turn signals. Somewhere down here I see it flashing. So that's the other turn signals. Okay. Right turn signal. Brake lights are number 6. Okay. Yep. Can you see those down there? Perfect. 5 is the detectoscope light. So that's flashing up there. Cool. All right, so I think we tested everything except the beacon light. So let me grab that. That was one of the first pieces we put together. So let me grab that really quick. Okay, so for some reason my beacon light is not working. I'm not sure if it is the wiring or if it is the button. Because sometimes when I push it, the turn signal goes off. So it might be just something in the remote. So I will definitely investigate that and report back on that. But everything else is working great. The headlights, the turn signals, the detectoscope, the horn, the brake lights. So yeah, everything except for the beacon, which is probably the most iconic part. But anyway, that is why we do testing. So I'm going to turn the lights back on. All right, so here we are. So that is the end of issue 59. All right, here is issue 60. So I removed the car because we won't need that at the beginning of this issue. So here's the magazine. Actually, if we go back, yeah, this is a villain I'm not familiar with, played by Cliff Robertson. I'm familiar with him. He was in a movie, the one that springs to the top of my head is in probably the 1950s with Joan Crawford, called Autumn Leaves. But the villain is Shame, played by Cliff Robertson. I'm not familiar with Shame. So here is the rest of the magazine. And then it looks like we'll be working on the mobile crime computer. Adding some accessories and things. And then attaching that to the vehicle. So here's the parts pack for issue 60. All right, I'm going to leave the parts in the tray. So we have, let's see, so there's these two clear pieces you probably can't see very well because I can barely see them, but they are called computer window. And then we have a bunch of knobs. We have red knob, blue knob, orange knob, silver knob. We have switches, and then we have the computer screen, which is this red and white checkered item here. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is take the computer screen, which is this piece, and we are going to push it onto the body here, and it's just a push to fit. And yep, that goes in very securely. So that is like that. And then we are going to attach these computer windows, and they are going to go right on the front here like so. Actually, just kidding, they're going to go in from this side, but we're going to screw them in from the outside. So that's very interesting. So they're going to be screwed in the four corners with these AAP screws. So that's these little silver screws here. Alright, let's see if I can get one of these in. Oh yeah, no problem. It's a little tricky because I'll show you here in a second after I get this one in. Because there are these little columns here that you have to put it in between, so it makes it a little tricky there for a second. Alright, so there are the two windows in. Now we have all of these crazy knobs here. Now let me just... So red, I'm assuming those are no, these are silver. Alright, let me see which ones go here. It looks like what we are doing is... So there are 6 slots here, so we're just alternating. We have 3 red, 3 black, so we're just going, which one are we starting with? I think red? Yeah, so we're just going red, black, red, black, red, black. So let me get those off the sprues here. All right, and they do have little switches on them, so I guess let's make sure they're all facing the right way, I guess. Yeah, this is going to be a little challenging. Alright, so that wasn't as difficult as I thought. Alright, so now, let's see. B is red knob. So now I have red knobs, blue knobs, orange knobs, and silver knobs. And we're only using one. So we get 2 of each, but we're only using one. So we're going to go red, orange, silver, and blue across the front here. These are a little trickier because they are, there we go. They're not like little rectangles, they're like a round little points. All right, last one. That one seems to be pointier than the other ones. How? All right. So we got those in. Now, move these aside. Now we need to bring the car back. All right, so so this is going to go in just like so, right on there, and that's going to go in with 4 AP screws. So I'm just going to turn this, and I'm sorry it's going to be away from you, but that's the only way I can see it. All right. So there we have the mobile crime computer installed. And that is it for issue 60, so on to the LEGO portion. Here we are on the LEGO side. So remember last week we focused on this rear area. We got this kind of bulked up a little bit. We added all these wedge plates. And so today it looks like we're going to be bulking up the sides a little bit. So let's do 177 through 183. All right, that is the end of the LEGO portion through step 183. So pretty simple. We just added some sections up here. We added these pieces here, and then we added this huge beam assembly, these Technic beams. So yeah, this is crazy. So it looks like the next issue, the next episode, the first thing we're going to start with is this beam on this side, and then we will move on to some interior details. So that's it for the LEGO side. To recap this episode, on the scale model side, we tested the electrics, and we installed the mobile crime computer. And then on the LEGO side, we installed this big Technic beam and some other pieces along the sides here. So that will do it for episode 30. All right, so how cool was that? But unfortunately, my bat beacon is not working for some reason, so I will investigate that this week to see if I can figure out what's going on. But all the other lights and sounds working as expected. Very cool. I like how this build is coming together. The wiring is way easier than the DeLorean was. Man, that model was crazy. It was so complicated. This one, I love how the circuit board is just right out in the open and you're not monkeying around in small spaces. And yeah, super great. Love it. So let's do our summary really quick. So for the scale model, we had 9 steps and 17 parts. For the LEGO side, 26 steps and 76 parts. And total to date, on the scale model side, 291 steps and 337 parts. And on the LEGO side, 376 steps and 989 parts. All right, very cool. So, yeah, again, coming back from this break that we had with not having parts, and then we come back and the parts are very paltry. That's going to continue for the next few episodes. Yeah, I think the next episode we have like 6 parts. And then after that, again, I think 5 or 6 parts. Very very short, very quick issues that we have, but at least we're moving forward. And like I said it last week, I have parts for 10 to 12 weeks to come. So hopefully with that cushion, we'll be good, and won't have to take any more breaks. Because I like to just keep moving with the flow. I don't like having to break it up and not do Batmobile stuff for weeks at a time. But until we see each other again, remember to hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. Like, share the video, comment down below. And until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.